Hey everyone, it is Lynn Terry, aka Low Carb Traveler, host of the 90-Day Low Carb Challenge.com. And I wanted to pop in, and I know it's a little unexpected and last minute, unscheduled, so apologies for that, but I wanted to pop in and see if you guys had any questions. Also wanted to ask, how's your weekend going? Weekends are hard for a lot of people, I know. I've heard over and over the last few years that weekends are the hardest time to stay on track. So I'd love to hear more about that. I would love to hear why weekends are tough for you, if they're tough for you. Is it because your schedule is different? Is it because you're not on your normal schedule or routine? Is it because you have more social stuff going on? Or, what is it specifically that causes you problems on the weekend? Also, by the way, I happen to know a little secret, and that is that the perfect keto bars that I love so much, they're here behind me actually. This is a secret, so don't tell anybody. But the perfect keto bars I love so much have a new flavor coming out this week, and they're going to be on sale starting tomorrow. But I can't tell you any other details yet until tomorrow. So if you want me to remind you, like if you like the perfect keto bars and you always like to wait until a sale to stock up, if you want me to remind you, just type perfect keto in the comments and I'll make sure and come back and let you know as soon as the sale goes live and what the new flavor is. If you're not interested in perfect keto bars, no worries. But for those of you who wait for a good sale to happen, type perfect keto in the comments so I can alert you and notify you as soon as. All right, Andrea, is it Andrea or Andrea? Said, I did good this weekend. They're tough for me too, out of routine and social gatherings. So let's see. We got lots of fun comments here. Hi, Chuck. It's good to see you on. So Chuck just ordered the Keto Crate, and I'm curious, Chuck, is that going to be your very first Keto Crate box ever? It's behind me, by the way. It has fudge brownie mix, cereal and milk, all kinds of good stuff to keep you on track for your cravings and stuff like that. That is going to sell out super fast, by the way. But that's not the point of this. I want to come on and ask you guys questions. I want to find out what's on your mind. And it's just basically an ask me anything. I have to run out this evening, so I thought before I go, since I had to throw my hair up and get myself together anyway, I thought I would pop on and we could have a chat and just do a Q&A. So would love to hear what you're struggling with, any questions you have, problems with macros, etc. I've been answering questions all around the web all weekends, and some of the things people are struggling with, include motivation, macros. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You guys are going to have to help me out and tell me what's going on with you. Also, I am hosting the 90-Day Low Carb Challenge.com if you haven't signed up yet. But for those of you who are participating, we are about to do our week 1 weigh-in, so we are almost a week into the challenge, and I would love to hear how that's going for you. What results you've experienced, how you're feeling, are you feeling motivated, are you struggling with it, etc. Andrea said I need to try keto cereal. Let me just tell you, like my personal favorite cereal is to use Lolly's. And it used to be called Lolly's Low Carb Granola, and I just crumble it up with unsweetened almond milk and blueberries. And that's my personal favorite. I have another favorite that's Swedish. It can be really hard to get sometimes and very expensive, but those are my 2 favorites. So there are a lot of other low carb cereals or keto cereals out on the market right now, and a lot of them are like Lucky Charms or Trix, or I don't know, they feel like Fruit Loops or kid cereals, and I haven't been able to bring myself to try those yet. I do have discount codes for those, though, I believe, some of them anyway, like Magic Spoon cereal, I think, and a couple of the other ones. So if you're interested in anything like that you see, always feel free to message me or post in a group or ask me somewhere if I have a discount code, because there's no sense paying full price. Heather said trying to get back on track. So let's talk about that a little bit. And Jen said, yes, Lolly's Cookie Clusters. Yes, those are so amazing as cereal. Danielle said, it's great to hear your voice. I think I might finally be in ketosis. I will find out tomorrow. I just got my Keto Mojo meter. I wasn't starving today, so something has to be changing. That is definitely a good sign. because it being in ketosis is a natural appetite suppressant. So that's definitely a good sign. Let me know, Danielle, how your Keto Mojo readings go. Be sure to watch the short videos on their website. Those are extremely helpful in terms of learning how to test your blood sugar and blood glucose and ketone levels and such as that. So want to just scroll up here. There's so many fun questions coming in. Andrea said, I need breakfast options other than shakes that I don't need to cook. You know, I prefer to just kind of do a snacky breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast eater. Some people skip breakfast. Some people do a snacky breakfast like I do. Some people are big breakfast eaters. And whatever the case, that's totally fine. I'm not one of those people that says you should all do it my way. I've just never been a huge breakfast eater. If I eat a big breakfast, it's more like brunch or an early lunch. So for me, Danielle, for breakfast ideas, I can certainly give you a bunch, and I'll come back and leave some more ideas in the comments. But I'm good with raw pecans. You might like them roasted. You can roast them with butter and cinnamon even, or whatever you prefer. If you want them savory or a little bit sweet, or you can sprinkle a little swerve and cinnamon on them and roast them with butter. But I prefer them plain and raw because they're not messy. And that way I can just grab 60 grams of pecans and I can eat them at my desk. I can eat them in the car. I can eat them on the go. They're not greasy on my hands. They're not, going to spill on my shirt. They're not messy. So I'm good with that. Sometimes I'll slice some cheese off the block or have a Baby Bell cheese or, something to that effect. I love the keto bars because they're keto collagen bars. They're very good on my blood sugar and ketone levels, and they satisfy me much longer than most other bars. So I use those quite a bit as well. But I'm good with dinner leftovers for breakfast. Just anything and everything, because breakfast foods gets old. I really prefer breakfast foods at dinner time. I don't know why. I just got through eating a plate of 5 eggs, by the way. And it's 5 p.m. here in Tennessee. So that's what I had today so far. I had a perfect keto collagen bar this morning with my collagen coffee. And then 5 p.m. I just finished a plate of 5 eggs. Speaking of, and I mentioned this a minute ago, but in case you're just popping on, this big secret, and I'm not supposed to say anything today, so I can't tell you much, but those of you that also like the perfect keto bars that I eat, some of you have expressed that you love them as well. They're these, and they're delicious. These are the ones, the keto collagen bars that I go through like crazy, but I only buy them on sale. They're expensive to me, so I only buy them when they're on sale. Anyway, the point I wanted to make is they're going to be on sale, and it's a really good one, starting tomorrow, and they have a new flavor coming out, and I can't tell you anything else. So if you're interested, just type Perfect Keto in the comments, and then as soon as the sale opens, because they're going to sell out of certain flavors of bars, so as soon as the sale opens, I will come back to anybody who did comment Perfect Keto and make sure you know first, that the sale is open and what the new flavor is, so you can make sure and grab them before they sell out. Just because I want you guys to have first dibs. You know how fast these things go sometimes. The other night, I found this really great deal, and it was like ridiculous deal. It's still a really good deal, but I emailed everybody, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really great deal. And then it ended before the emails even hit your inbox, and I felt so bad. Things sell out fast. They do. I'm looking here, no comments from the group. So I'm talking to both, on two different cameras right now because I wanted to make sure and try to talk to everybody today. So Heather said, trying to get back on track. And it took me a minute to get back to that, Heather, sorry. So Heather said, I'm trying to get back on track. And let me say that when you're off track or when you go off plan, it's much harder to get on. So it's very similar to if you quit cocaine and then you decide to do it. I don't know what the proper words are for that because I've never done it. Then it's going to be a lot harder to go clean again, right? So it's like rehab. So sugar is the same way. Sugar and carbs are kind of the same thing to your body, but sugar is the same way in terms of you have to detox again because your body runs on, you have to have something for energy. So your body either runs on carbs and sugar for energy or it runs on fat for energy. One of the two. So if you imagine, I'm a Southern woman, so I'll just say if you imagine trucks and one is diesel and one is gas fueled, right? So regular gasoline and diesel, they're completely separate. It's totally different. The diesel truck does not run on gas. The gas truck does not run on diesel fuel, right? And this is your body. Your body can be one or the other, but it can never be both at the same time. It's either running on carbs and sugar, or it's running on fat, healthy fats, or whatever, bacon, just fat, period. So it's going to run either way, right? As long as you give it one or the other, carbs or fat. Not both at the same time. That's a very bad, unhealthy combination and what got us all in a lot of health trouble in the first place. But switching back and forth is as hard as if you could imagine trying to switch a truck from diesel to regular fuel, right? So it's a big process. Your body has to go through a detox. It has to metabolically switch from sugar burning mode or fat burning mode, to carb burning mode, has to switch to fat burning mode. And this process is a diuretic process, which is why your body flushes out toxins and water. It's a detox. You feel like crap. Most people experience keto flu symptoms. And then all of a sudden you feel amazingly different. And you have hardly any appetite, and you have more energy, and you start feeling keto lean because you've flushed out all this stuff out of your system or what have you. So when you say, Heather, trying to get back on track, and I'm so glad you brought that up because this is a really good topic for all of us. It's such a big deterrent for me. When I think I want to eat off plan, I'm like, ugh, I have to go through that whole diesel, process all over again. And my engine just can't take it again. So anyway, it's a good deterrent. And so I just find really good replacements instead. However, the point that I wanted to make, comment I wanted to make. Oh, so getting back on track. The hardest part is deciding to do it. So motivation, you can't just, get motivation downloaded off the internet or buy it on Amazon or go get it at Walmart or whatever. I wish you could buy it in a package and just have a swig, right? That doesn't happen. So what happens is motivation kicks in after commitment. So you make a commitment grudgingly, unhappily, whatever the case. Maybe you're excited about it, maybe you're not. But you just decide. You decide today is the day, or maybe you decide tomorrow is the day. And let me just tell you, tomorrow always looks good. Always. For whatever it is you want to accomplish or do. And so you just decide this is the day, and you make that commitment, and then you just follow through and you do it. No matter if you enjoy it or not, you just do it. And once you do that, you're going to feel good about yourself. Like you're going to have the sense of accomplishment, like I did that. And the next thing that's going to happen is the keto magic, I'll call it that. It's really the keto science, is going to kick in for you, and it's going to make you have less appetite. It's going to make you have less cravings. It's going to make you feel leaner, and then you're going to feel those results. You're going to have more energy, and then motivation kicks in even more. So the inertia kicks in. So it's hard to get back on track mentally because you have to decide to do it. You have to make the commitment to do it without the motivation. Sometimes you have a good motivator. Sometimes you don't. And then the motivation kicks in after. Also, it would be important to point out that you might need to think up a good motivation. Like, why do you want to be on track? Why do you want to be healthier or leaner or feel better about yourself? Like, what's your real reason? What's your why? Think about that really hard and come up with as many reasons as you possibly can. I have an event coming up in a few weeks that has me motivated to get back to my workouts that I have totally been slacking on. And not that I think I can get all back in shape in 3 weeks. I mean, don't we all do that? Procrastinate, wait till the last minute. So think a little further in advance. What do you have coming up? There's spring, there's summer. There's going to be, less clothes, arms showing, this stuff right here that I've got to tighten back up. I used to have really good triceps. So getting back to my tricep dips, but you got to think of a really good, strong reason. What do I really want? How do I really want to feel? Why do I want to feel that way? Why do I want to accomplish this? And just start thinking about those reasons to kickstart that motivation and help you with that commitment. Christina said, my challenge, staying in the acceptable calorie range and still being full. Tips? Yes. I definitely have tips for you on that, Christina. Ignore calories. And I'm going back to 1972 science on this when I say this. And this is coming from Dr. Atkins, The Diet Revolution, which was a bestseller the year I was born. He wrote it in 1972 while my mother was pregnant with me. And by the time I was born in 1973, it was top of the shelves. Anyway, for now, especially if you're just starting out, ignore calories. And anyone like counting calories, if you are doing it and it's working for you, that's fine. I'm not judging you. But if you're just starting out and somebody gave you a macro calculator or somebody told you have to count calories because they do, ignore that. You don't. The only thing you should focus on in the very beginning is 20 net carbs max, 70% fat minimum, or plenty of healthy fats at least, but 20 net carbs max. And the other thing you need to do is eat however much it takes to be physically and emotionally satisfied. You should never be hungry on a keto diet. Ever. Never, ever get hungry on a keto diet. When I first started, I was eating monstrous numbers of calories. I would make a pound of bacon literally by myself and sit on the couch and dip it in mayonnaise like chips and dip. And that was after dinner because I was a horrific binge eater. When I first started eating low carb, I was a massive binge eater. And the way somebody tricked me, I'll say, into starting this low carb diet was they said, you can eat as much food as you want as long as you just stay within this 20 net carbs. I'm like, I'm in. I can do that. And that is exactly what I did. If I bought a box of Atkins bars or Quest bars or whatever it was at the time, I would eat the whole box. It was awful. As long as it fit in my numbers for the day, if I had to eat eggs the rest of the day, I would. So you don't have to be perfect in the beginning. I'm not suggesting that you do that now, by the way. I'm just saying that's how I started, and I say whatever it takes to make the transition into a healthier lifestyle. Obviously, I eat pretty darn clean and simple now. But the point that I wanted to make is in the beginning, for now, ignore calories. Just do 20 net carbs max. And here's the trick. I want you to start really paying attention to your body. Like, get to know your body. This is one of the things I find fascinating, and I posted a link for you guys earlier today about this, about tracking, madness versus motivation. You'll see it on my page. However, the thing I really want you to do is start listening to your body. Get to know what your hunger signals are. So eat when you're hungry. Don't when you're not. Stop when you're satisfied. I'm going to say stop when you're satisfied. I'm not going to say stop when you're full. Because you are going to discover that being full is a feeling you don't actually enjoy anymore. And why in the world we ever ate to the point of being stuffed? And I'm talking from a binging perspective. I used to literally stuff myself. That is not okay. And now I'll be eating. I could be eating my plate of 5 eggs, for example. And halfway through it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not hungry anymore. I'm satisfied. And I will literally put them away, which because I'm not that picky, I don't mind to eat them later if I want to. But I threw away eggs today, which I don't normally throw away food. I'm big on make what you eat and eat what you make. But when it comes down to there being more on my plate than I can eat, I'm not going to overeat. That's not going to happen. So usually I'll put it away and I can find, like, let's say if it's leftover scrambled eggs and that sounds gross to you, you can always mix it in, let's say do some salsa and cheese and some meat or whatever and mix it into a bigger scramble later. There's things you can do. But for the first time in months, I actually threw away food today and it was 2.5 eggs. And I rationalized this, so let me just explain because I'm not big on wasting money or food. But yesterday I made 5 eggs and I got about halfway through them, 2.5 eggs, and I was like, you know what, I'm satisfied. I'm not hungry anymore. So I'm not going to force myself to eat past satisfied, and you never should. So I put them away in a container and sealed them in the fridge, and I thought I'll have them later or I'll have them in the morning. They did not appeal today. Then I didn't eat until 5 o'clock today. And when I looked at those eggs, I was like, no. I do want eggs, but I'm making fresh eggs. So I threw them away. But the whole carton of eggs only cost me less than $2. And it was 18 eggs for less than $2. So I thought or maybe $2.19. So I thought to myself, throwing away 2 gross eggs is okay. I'm going to make 5 fresh ones. And then today I was really hungry because I didn't eat till 5 o'clock and I ate all 5 eggs. So Every day is going to be different. Every meal is going to be different, but that is going to be my advice to you is ignore calories, and instead of calories, focus on your body. There is no number that can define you. There is no proper macro. There is no proper calorie count. There is no proper anything that can define you personally. It's about bio-individuality. So the sooner you learn to listen to your body's signals. If you eat something and you feel bloated afterwards, even if it said keto on the wrapper, pay attention to that and start noticing if that happens frequently. That's how I discovered chicory root fiber makes me massively sick. But other people, it's actually good for their guts. We're all different. So my advice is ignore all those goals except for your carb count and making sure you get plenty of healthy fats. Everything else I want you to ignore and really start listening to your body instead. Get in the habit of hearing what your body has to say. I'm looking here to see if there's any way. I'm not seeing comments from the group, so I want to see if there's any way to see those because I don't want to miss your comments. So, Chuck, if you're still watching, or Lynn or Lurleen or Michelle, if you guys are still watching from the group, if you could leave a comment just so I can see if it pops up or not, that would be great. Heather said you look great. You're going to make me cry. I'm such a softie. I feel such a mess today, actually. I've been really stressed out. I've been having anxiety a lot, and I've been talking about that a little bit. As far as what's going on in my life, it's a lot, and I don't necessarily want to get into all of it. It's more than you want to know, although someday maybe I'll sit down and tell you my life story. But one of the interesting things, thank you so much for saying that, Heather. As far as my weight and my size, I'm really happy with that. I do have some things, and it's kind of dark what I'm wearing and different stuff, but so I'm down to a size 6. And that's with plenty of room to spare. This top is roomy, as you can see. Anyway, I have gotten out of shape, number one. And so that's an issue that I've got to deal with since I had the gut health issue. But I've been really stressed lately. And one of the interesting things, talking about learning your body, is I've been testing and noticing that I was having anxiety the other day to the point that I was having almost like on the edge of a panic attack. And it spiked my blood sugar dramatically. I was surprised and shocked because I was testing a product a while back and I tested it 3 different times. And the first 2 times it tested great. And the third time it didn't. It tanked. And my ketone levels even dropped dramatically. But in hindsight, I was extremely stressed. I was not sleeping much. I was sleeping 3 hours here, 1 hour there, up around the clock. I was upset. I was really anxious. And so now I'm starting to track and monitor that as far as how that affects, my weight loss, obviously, and everything else. The lemon lollies is so good, Melissa says. Yes, if you guys need a discount code for lollies, we're talking about, used to be lollies, low-carb granola. Now it is lollies cookie clusters. That stuff's amazing. I like it as cereal. But if you need a discount code, just simply say lollies in the comments and I will be sure to get that to you. And I have to run out. I'm going to run out and help my dad and stepmom with something real quick. So I'll answer your questions when I get back if I miss them. Andrea said, no. It was Jen that said, do you count your calories? And I think that I already answered that. I do watch them out of interest because they're in my FitnessPal and my micro tracker. So I look at them out of interest, but my calories fluctuate wildly. There can be days that I don't eat much, even under 1,000 calories, and there can be days I eat well over 2,000 calories. It just fluctuates all over the place. Again, I go by my hunger signals. I go by my body. Eat when I'm hungry, don't when I'm not. I do not practice intentional fasting. I don't think that you should. I'm not judging if you do this, but I shouldn't deprive myself or not eat when I'm actually hungry. I'm really big on listening to my body and fueling my body as it tells me it needs to be fueled. And that's because I've gotten over, eating disorders and overeating and all of those other problems and can actually hear my body say, I'm hungry or I'm not hungry. So just because it's lunchtime does not mean I'm going to sit down and force myself to eat. Or just because it's on my plate doesn't mean I'm going to finish it. So while I don't count calories, I do notice them out of interest. Andrea said snack breakfasts are perfect. I agree. Danielle said you've mentioned before items that you get from Kroger. I believe one of those was a chicken salad. What section of Kroger did you find it? I'm frustrated. Let me tell you, I don't know where to get it. I'm searching too, so I'll just tell you that. So the palmetto pimento cheese that we all love, obviously I found it at Kroger in the Kroger deli. And I fell in love with it, and I discovered I could cook with it. And so I started sharing all of these creative recipes, like I make this breakfast hash with it. It's great in cauliflower rice. I make cheesy eggs with it, and I've been sharing it with you guys because I'm fascinated with this. Pimento cheese is so darn good. And they were so grateful, and they actually messaged me. They sent me an email, actually, and said, we really appreciate all your creative ideas. That's brilliant, cooking with our pimento cheese. Can we send you a thank you gift? And I'm like, that's so nice. I would absolutely not turn it down because I'm buying this stuff like crazy. And so they sent me their caramelized onion dip and their chicken salad in it, and another thing of their pimento cheese. And so I shared that with you guys. All three products are fabulous. I'm not working with them in any way. I go buy it at Kroger myself. However, my Kroger's not carrying the chicken salad or the caramelized onion dip, and I know a lot of you have said you can't find it yet either. So my advice is look it up online, palmetto cheese, and it's Polly Island Foods, I think. Anyway, look it up, and if at your store that you normally shop at, just request it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my Kroger because I live in a very small farm town, and it's the only real good grocery store I have here. So I'm going to go to my Kroger and ask them, would you please start carrying these two items from the same company because they're all so fabulous, and hopefully they will. But that's all we can really do. Jen said, what do you think about using Splenda? Man, you guys have such great questions today. And I'm not seeing questions from the group. I'm only seeing, so if you guys are watching from the group, let me know. I see, like if I wave at Michelle, if I wave, I don't know if that helps. Yeah, so I can't tell. I can't see your comments for some reason or your questions. But anyway, Jen said, what do you think about using Splenda? And my thoughts are use what you prefer. Use what tastes good to you. So I lovingly refer to Splenda as rat poison. And when I say lovingly, it's because I will use it if I'm in a restaurant. Now, when I first started low carb, which was 9 years ago almost, I used Splenda pretty much exclusively because there wasn't much else on the market. There weren't a lot of sweeteners to choose from 9 years ago at all. Splenda was one of the only. And I jokingly call it rat poison because I read some article, which was probably fake news, that said that Splenda was originally formulated to be a rat poison, and then they realized how sweet it was and made a sweetener. And I'm sure that was probably fake news, but now I still joke that. I'll have the yellow rat poison. So this is my funny joke. Anyway, I like Splenda in my coffee if I'm at a restaurant or at a hotel breakfast buffet or what have you. I don't have a problem with using Splenda. I don't have a problem with you using whatever sweetener you prefer if it keeps you on track from eating sugar. That's my take. However, over time, you'll discover that there are a lot of different types of sweeteners and different types of ingredients, and you'll feel, which ones work best for you and what tastes best to you. A lot of people love stevia or stevia. They pronounce it differently. I personally don't like it. It has an awful aftertaste to me. So I don't like products made with it either. Monk fruit tastes good. Erythritol is nice in small amounts. So I usually use half what any recipe calls for. I use Swerve. It is an erythritol mix. And I prefer that now to Splenda, but I still will use Splenda when I'm out and about. And you have a choice between white, blue, pink, and yellow. Rat poison, I call them all. I'll have the yellow one. So I'm not picky about that. I say use what you prefer and use what's going to keep you from putting real sugar in whatever it is you're using it for. That's it. Susan said MCT oil hurts my stomach. So is that straight oil? And we need to talk about that because I did a lot of research on that a year ago. MCT oil, I researched over 50 brands, and the majority of them what you find in stores on the shelf is, I call it snake oil, not MCT oil. It's not real and it's not pure MCT oil. A lot of it's basically overpriced coconut oil. Some of it has other ingredients you don't want. But if MCT oil hurts your stomach, it might be which brand you're using. So if you could let me know, Susan, the specific, like put a link to it or whatever, which brand of MCT oil you're using, I can analyze it for you. I also have an article, a breakdown with a spreadsheet on all the MCT oils that I researched, why you should use it, how you should use it, whether you should use it, what you should not use. You know, I've got a lot of stuff. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just type MCT oil in the comments and I will leave the link for you and then we can continue the discussion. I can answer any questions you have about it. But a lot of times the reason MCT oil might hurt your stomach is because they include MCTC6, which is a short chain triglyceride being a fancy word for fat. But anyway, the 6 is what causes stomach upset for most people. They also, most of them will include the 12, which means you have to digest it first. And the difference between that and a pure MCT C8, C10 oil is calories burned versus calories stored. It is very important that you're not using the wrong MCT oil. So if you are at all unsure, or, about if you're using it, should you use it? If you're using the wrong one, please leave a comment and ask me. I don't mind at all to help you analyze it and explain what to look for on the label. That was something I started using a year ago because I was having gut health issues and I needed it as an anti-inflammatory on my digestive system. And you just talk about working instantly. I had such bad indigestion. My gut health issues were so bad that the thought of food would make me have the hiccups and start having indigestion, and then I would get acid, and then I would get thrush, and then then it would go down into my lower intestines. So as just a last ditch resort, I had some MCT oil it came in one of my boxes or whatever. I put it in my coffee. I took a sip and immediately felt it settle as it went down. It was like a Pepto-Bismol commercial. I felt it go down and work as it went down. And I was like, oh my gosh, what magic is this? And that's when I started doing the research, and I ended up researching over 50 brands. It took me 2 weeks, and I was shocked at some of the stuff that I discovered and learned that they're trying to sell you out there. So just be really cautious about that. If you ever have a question about a product, should I use this? Have you heard of that? What's your thoughts on this? Please don't hesitate to ask me. I would hate for you to use anything that could potentially be dangerous, cause you negative side effects, or is an additional expense you really don't need. Okay, so just don't hesitate to ask. Danielle said, I definitely want the code for Magic Spoon cereal. My husband has been begging me to get some. He's like a little kid. Okay, I'll come back and get those to you when I get back in this evening. And Andrea said, what's the website for what specifically? So I'm just looking down here. A lot of you guys are interested in the Perfect Keto deal that I can't tell you about. I'm bound to secrecy, but I do have the insider info. So I'll just say once again, because I don't want you guys to miss out. These are going to sell out super fast. They're coming out with a new flavor tomorrow. And they are going to, this is Perfect Keto bars. The ones I love, you guys all know how much I love these, right? And a lot of you love them too, but we don't buy them at full price. So I happen to know they're going to be on sale, and it's a really good sale. But if you don't want to miss it, because once the sale opens, they're going to sell out really fast, and there's a new flavor, and I have tried it, and it's amazing, and I had somebody else try it just to verify, and they were like, wow, that's really good. So if you would just type Perfect Keto in the comments, I will make sure and come back and let you know so that you're tagged as soon as the sale is live, and so you can see what the new flavor is before any of your favorite flavors sell out. That's if you're interested in Perfect Keto, or if you already know you love Perfect Keto. Those of us that use their bars on a regular basis only buy them when they're really on sale, and that's why I want to make sure you know. I'm giving you first dibs. I'm not supposed to be telling you this stuff, that they're going to be on sale, but they are, and they're good. So that'll be starting tomorrow. But if you just leave a comment that says Perfect Keto, I will come back and let you know. I will tag each and every one of you that are interested so that you get first dibs and you know. Andrea said, one drink of motivation, please, maybe a six-pack. Wouldn't that be nice if you could walk up to a bar and order that? I'll have a shot of motivation. I'll have a shot of confidence. I'll have a shot of happy today. I could use that, actually. I've had a rough couple of days. You guys don't really want to know. So that would be nice, though, wouldn't it? However, we have to come up with those things on our own, and that's what makes this journey interesting, and that's what made it hard for me, was because I found out in the end losing weight was the easy part all along, and I always thought that was the hard part. This is where I'm going to start crying because my journey was really hard. I didn't realize I had so many problems. I didn't even realize I was overweight. If you want to know the truth about it, I kept gaining weight and kept gaining weight and kept gaining weight, but I never noticed because I got to a point where I just wore, like sundresses or pajama pants or elastic waistband skirts or whatever. Because, after a size 18, I just stopped buying jeans. And the reason was because I was gaining weight so fast, I had to buy a new pair of jeans every week. And at the time that this was happening in my life, I was broke. And I had 2 kids. I was a single parent, had a special needs child that I was homebound with full time. I couldn't afford a new pair of jeans every week. So I stopped wearing jeans at size 18. I don't know what size I got up to. I don't know what weight I got up to. I didn't own scales either. But it wasn't until somebody said to me, you need to get a handle on that. And I looked at myself and I looked in the mirror and I became aware. It was kind of like that awareness, I didn't realize. And I know that sounds crazy because, most of us, and even later in my journey, I would, diet because I was overweight. But it was that original awareness. And so I originally started this as a diet to lose that weight because I was made aware that I was apparently grotesque to someone or whatever. And anyway, I made it hard. Losing weight is hard. It is not. If you just follow the science, your body will follow suit. The weight will just come off of you naturally. What was hard was dealing with all the reasons that I got overweight and dealing with all the reasons I had a hard time staying on track. And dealing with, binge eating disorders and bad relationships, unhealthy relationships with food, and why did I lack confidence? Why did I lack motivation? Why did I not care, what I look like? How did I get to a point where I didn't realize I had gained 70 or 80 pounds? It just happened. Life happens, that's all. And dealing with all those things and having to change my life and having to improve my life and having to turn to things other than food has been a huge process for me personally. Huge. And I would say that's been the biggest transformation for me. Not necessarily the weight loss, the size, that I am or any of those things, which is great. And being out of chronic pain. I was in chronic pain before. That's an amazing thing. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. But how it's changed me as a person, it's made me stronger. It's made me more self-aware. It's made me respect myself more. It's really just changed me in so many ways that make me incredibly emotional. So anyway, off of that, because I'm going to have mascara run it down. Danielle said, I just want to say thank you. I've been following you for a while now, and you have definitely motivated me and helped me believe. I feel that you need to know that your hard work and effort is a blessing to others. I just said, don't make me cry. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle. I really appreciate it. I've been quite mushy and emotional lately. So comments like that, hang on one second. I'm having a problem with my computer. Comments like that really make my day and make it all so worth it. It is a lot of work, and I really appreciate that. Andrea said, I want to feel comfortable in clothes I want to wear. That feels so good. That feels amazing. I have this little checkered mini skirt I wear with knee boots. You guys, I'll be 47 in June. And it's the first time in my life that I felt comfortable wearing something like that, and I'll get all dressed up, or I'll wear these cute little retro dresses with high heels. I bought a pair of destroyed jeans that I wear with my leather boots, I think they are leather. They're brown. But anyway, I love that because even when I was younger and I was lean, I had all the issues, all the problems that ended up making me unhealthy later in life. And I didn't have any, confidence. I was very shy, and I dressed very, really covered myself up. I was very much a wallflower. So to say that, this whole thing has changed me in a huge way is really huge. It's big, because even before I gained all the weight, back when I was younger, I was very much, I didn't, like dress young or whatever. I was dealing with all the traumatic issues that ultimately ruined my health. And so feeling comfortable in the clothes you wear is a good motivator. It does feel amazing. I'll just tell you, it's worth it. It's so worth it. When you order something or walk into a store and buy something, and you walk out in it somewhere and you feel just like $1,000,000, that feels so good. Let's see. Oh, that was a good idea. Judy said use the leftover scrambled eggs and fried cauliflower rice. Very smart. Danielle said you would think my daughter was getting married. That my daughter getting married in September would be motivator, but it's not. It's the fact that I'm so tired of my feet hurting when I walk from being so heavy. I can't wait to feel lighter, like I'm walking on air. You're going to love that, because I felt the same way. My ankles would swell, my feet hurt, I was constantly having circulation problems. Now I can dance for 5 hours in 5-inch heels. It feels amazing. I feel like it's just crazy, the difference. But I want you to think about that. That wedding in September is really just right around the corner, and all of us have something coming up. And just think about this. The pictures are forever. So you have X amount of time to make as much difference as you want to before what? Your next cruise, or your summer vacation, or one of your kids' weddings, or your best friend's wedding, or whatever you have coming up. The summertime, whatever it is. All right, let's see. Danielle said all of the things you've gotten through in the past have prepared you for what you're going through now. You've got this. Thank you. I needed that, I think. I have days where, like earlier today, I curled up on the couch for 2 hours and just curled up in a ball, pulled the covers over my face, and I was just like, just stop the planet. Just stop rotating for a little while. And I just did. I just stopped, and took a break. And I think that's very important too. But that goes back to my thing earlier of saying, listen to your body. And when your body says it is time to step away from the world, turn the phone off, doesn't matter. Nobody's emergency matters. You matter right now. And listening to your body and responding to what it says is incredibly important. Now, we can't always do that. There are times we have to be going when we don't necessarily want to or whatever, and that's when you make up for it in some other way. But again, going back to, listening to your body and knowing what you need, that's incredibly, incredibly important. Let's see. Oh, Danielle said if you can send me a picture of the chicken salad package, I might be able to help, as my daughter works for Kroger. That's why I'm so frustrated. I will definitely do that. We could use all the help we can get, right? Getting this chicken salad in stores. And Danielle said, my husband thinks all of those types of sweeteners are horrible. Fortunately, the one that I like, the Swerve, comes in packets. So I can get those and I can keep them in my bag or keep them in my pocket when I'm on the go. So if I want something that I prefer, I can do that. So that's good. Dennis said Perfect Keto has great MCT oil. It is very high quality. It has been out of stock for a while. So I'll check on that. Danielle said, I got to kiss my keto MCT oil you recommended. I read all of your research on it. I personally don't like it. I do like the Perfect Keto collagen. I will come back and give you ideas on ways to use it. If you have a product in your pantry, a keto product that you bought that you don't like, or that you didn't like it the way it was meant to be used, tell me what it is. I have creative ideas for everything. You would be surprised at some of the ways that I've used things. Like I make, for example, with the MCT oil, my advice is this. If you don't like it in your coffee, if you don't like to take it straight, which I'm good with that. I'd rather do that than have it in my coffee anymore. Just, take a shot in the morning. Anyway, if you don't like that at all, here's what is really good. mix, like you start with a teaspoon of MCT oil. You don't want to start with a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. That's too much. You start with 1 teaspoon and work your way up gradually. So you mix 1 teaspoon of MCT oil or whatever amount you're at right now. You mix it 1 to 1 with almond butter or whatever your favorite, macadamia butter, cashew nut butter, whatever your favorite nut butter is. But let's say almond butter. So 1 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, and it'll stir together and mix together just fine. You don't even have to warm it up or anything. And then put it in little candy molds or ice trays or whatever you have and stick it in the freezer. And then you take one out, and it's 1 teaspoon of MCT oil mixed with 1 teaspoon of peanut butter, and it's like a little fudgesicle square. You put a little sea salt on it if you want to, like before you freeze it. You could just sprinkle just a little bit of like ancient sea salt on it, or if you prefer sweetener, sprinkle just a little sweetener on it or whatever, but I like sea salt. But it still tastes like a nice little fudgesicle, and that's much funner way to take MCT oil. Let's see here. So you guys are really interested in this sale and the Perfect Keto sale and the new flavor coming out. Let me tell you, it is good. And if you're familiar with Perfect Keto bars, how many of you have tried the cinnamon Perfect Keto bar? If you have, you know it's called cinnamon roll. And it is softer than the rest of the bars, a lot softer than the rest of the bars. The other bars, I like that better, they're firmer or whatever, but I like the soft cinnamon roll bar with my coffee in the morning. Anyway, it's softer. So this new bar, if you like the cinnamon roll bar, is soft too. Soft and creamy. It's got a kind of a creamy texture to it. You're going to love it. Even if you don't think you like the flavor, I think you'll love it. But that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not supposed to be telling you guys about this, but they are going to be on sale tomorrow. And that's why I'm telling you, is because I don't want you to buy them. If we're planning on restocking your Perfect Keto bars, don't do it today. Wait, because there is going to be a sale tomorrow. So if you leave a comment that says Perfect Keto, I'll come back and tag you so you get first dibs before they all sell out, because the bars are going to be on a massive sale tomorrow. Bobby said, I just sent you a message. I didn't realize you were live at the moment. No worries. I'm actually heading out. I have some family business to take care of this evening, and so when I get back, I'll check all your comments and questions and messages, and we'll catch up then. Sharon said, have you seen this product, Outer Aisle Cauliflower Sandwich Thins? It looks okay. Just wanted your thoughts. Yes. I love Outer Aisle Gourmet. I have a discount code. If you order them online, it's Low Carb Traveler, the same discount code I usually use everywhere. Outer Aisle Gourmet sandwich thins and pizza crust are made with the least ingredients of any cauliflower crust or thins products ever. So they have like maybe 3 ingredients. They're very high quality ingredients. I've met the owner of the company. I like her. We get on. Like she and I are like, I don't know, we were probably sisters and didn't know it. And I think she's from Louisiana or French. And anyway, but we just really hit it off. But it's the quality of her ingredients, and I have done some reviews on Outer Aisle Gourmet. I personally love them. They are very good. So thanks for asking about those. And I do have that discount code, so I'll come back and make sure you have that in the comments as well. And Bobby said, what's the difference between exogenous ketones and BCAAs? They seem to have the same ingredients. The difference is skip them all. Do not take those products. Any of those products. Don't. I mean, to be honest with you, they've offered me big money to tell you otherwise. But I'm telling you, do not take exogenous ketones. Number one, it's expensive, and you could save your money for pecans or low carb chocolate or something really good, or keto bars. But don't take those. And I'll tell you why in detail. We'll have to do a separate video about that because it's scary to me. I'll just say this: there's no long-term case studies done on the side effects as far as taking them long-term. There is a therapeutic use for exogenous ketones in something like, let's say, dementia or Parkinson's patients or cancer patients or trauma survivors, not for weight loss people. No. They don't actually put you in nutritional ketosis either. So there's no proof that your body in good health, I'm talking about not if you have a brain trauma or cancer or you Parkinson's, but as a normal healthy person, there's no proof that they actually are used by your body the same way ketones your body creates are used. It just makes for very expensive pee, which none of us need. That's going down the toilet, literally. So I will just say, I'll leave it at that for now. We can discuss that more in detail later, but don't waste your money on any of that stuff. If it says ketones or exogenous ketones, any of that kind of stuff, if it says it puts you in ketosis quicker on some big bottle and it's a powder or a shake and the whole paragraph of ingredients, don't fall for that. All it takes to get into nutritional ketosis is to eat extremely low carb. When you eat very low carb, you force your body to rely on fats for energy instead of carbs and sugar for energy. It immediately puts you into ketosis. You do not need a magic potion or a pill or a ketone for that. You're going to create your own ketones. Danielle said that's a great idea about the MCT oil and almond butter. Thank you so much. You're welcome. It tastes like candy. And I do use the Perfect Keto MCT oil. I do highly recommend it. They have been out of stock for over a month, so I'll check in with my contact there and see when it's going to be back. Thurko said, I'm surprised how many calories are in those Perfect Keto bars compared to other choices. I like that. They actually hold me over much longer than any other bars, so I don't eat them as a snack. I eat them as a meal replacement. So for me, the highest calorie bar Perfect Keto makes is 230 calories. I can't get by for a meal, whether that could be my breakfast or some days if I have, a light breakfast and then I have a big dinner, it might be what I would have for lunch as a bridge between. So for 230 calories as a meal, that's not bad. I don't eat them as a snack because I don't snack. So for me, they are a meal or a meal replacement. But again, earlier I said I don't count calories anyway, and I've lost all my weight not counting calories. Danielle said, I do like the Cinnamon Roll Perfect Keto Bar. I have the chocolate cookie dough one, but haven't tried it yet. So you'll notice there's a much different texture. So the cinnamon roll is going to be soft, almost creamy, whereas the chocolate chip cookie dough bar is chunky. It's got big chunks of chocolate, like chunky chocolate chunks, or whatever. Totally different texture. So what you're going to find is that the new flavor that's coming out tomorrow is even softer and creamier. It has like a creamy texture to it that's even creamier than the cinnamon roll. Danielle said, oh, wow, I was going to get some exogenous ketone stuff. Now I'm not. Thank you. I look forward to talking about this further. Yeah, don't. Save your money for something yummy. Like keto bars or Chalk Zero or, something good, because they're expensive, the exogenous ketones, and they don't work the way that we can talk in detail about those another time because we've been on here almost an hour now. Bobby said, thank you for the great response. You know how the companies cram that need down our throats. I appreciate your honesty and input. You're right, they are pretty expensive. You do not need them. Your body will produce all the ketones you need ever. And if you eat super low carb and you pee on one of those strips, you know what I'm talking about, like where you test your ketosis levels, the keto urine test strips, then you're already peeing out ketones. Like, why would you add more in there? Why would you drink more? Yeah, don't do that. I'm not big on, I don't think you should be taking any major like supplements or, any kind of thing like that without consulting with a doctor first. And even like something like I had gotten one time because I can't take antidepressants. And I went through a really, really hard time of grief and loss. And my doctor had suggested I take an antidepressant, but they don't do well for me. That's the reason I wear glasses now, actually, is because the last one I tried to take, the number one side effect was you go blind. And so these glasses have 3 different fields of vision in them. So I have bifocals, long range, and this range. Anyway, I can't even see a stop sign. That was the number one side effect of this antidepressant that I took. So instead, I got something off Amazon to try that was all natural, and I took it straight to my doctor and asked first. Amazon reviews are not your doctor, period, plain and simple. And I don't care how good the headline is or how much somebody tells you you need something or how great it's working for them or whatever the case. It's just not necessary. To a lot of the products and supplements and all this other concoctions and all this stuff, you don't need all that. Just good, plain, whole food that's low carb. I mean, for the most part, I eat like hamburger steaks, which, is just hamburger meat. I'll eat raw spinach dipped in ranch, cheesy eggs, the cheese cut off the block, raw pecans. I eat extremely simple. So you might want more flavors and more variety than I eat, and that's fine too. But all you have to do is do the 20 net carbs max. You don't need to do a lot of this other crazy stuff. C said even the perfect keto base, I think it's exogenous ketones. That is exactly correct, and I always tell people not to use it. So I have a whole blog post. I have several actually where I say these are the only products I love. The rest of the stuff I don't buy, and here's why. Because they also have exogenous ketones. Because there's a huge market for it. They're filling a need. And they have good products. I'm sure would be good quality, but I won't use them. So the only products I'll get from Perfect Keto are the collagen powder. I prefer unflavored. The flavored collagen powders are too sweet for me, although other people, some of you have said you love the chocolate or the salted caramel. I thought they were way too sweet. And then maybe it's the sweetener I don't like. But I like the unflavored collagen powder, all of their keto bars. Their nut butters are extremely good. And their MCT oil is good quality also. So everything else, no. I don't use anything with exogenous ketones. So they have a keto coffee. They have a thing called keto, perfect keto base. All that other stuff, skip that. I don't use it. All right, so we have been on for about an hour, and these were some really, really good questions. I appreciate the conversation and your time spent with me. And I will come back, like I said, I have to run out and help with some family stuff, and then I'll come back afterwards, and we'll continue this discussion in the comments. So if you tune in later and you're watching the replay, or if you missed the first part of this and you're going to go back and watch the beginning of it or what have you, just keep posting those questions. Keep the questions coming in. We'll keep the discussion going online in the comments after. And so the other thing I want to say, and I'll say this before I close out, let me make sure I have all the questions. And I'm missing some. Only half the questions are coming through. So Danielle said everyone's bodies are different when it comes to ketosis and weight loss. It's amazing, really. Yes, that's where you do testing over guessing. Never guess. Don't go dairy-free because you guess dairy is bad for your body specifically. That would not be any fun. Test before guess. Danielle said, thanks for being so honest about everything. Always. Ask me anytime. If you're unsure, if you need some feedback, if you're looking for a coupon code, ask me anytime. C said, how can I be notified of future meetings? I didn't know about this live. That should give you an option right here on the video somewhere to subscribe. There's an option, I think, on the screen that says get notified next time, and that should work. Andrea said, your live videos help keep me on track. That's going to motivate me to do it more then. I'll come on more. All right, so one more time, just so you don't miss out, if you're interested, if you're one of the people that also eats perfect keto bars, I love these things, but I only buy them when they're on sale. I'm not supposed to be telling you this because it happens tomorrow. They're going to be on sale tomorrow. They're coming out with a new flavor. It's going to sell up. It's going to sell out really fast. All the flavors will sell out fast at these prices because when they go on sale, that's when everybody stocks up and then they run out. So if you're interested, I will keep an eye out. If they start the sale early, and sometimes they do, I will come back. If you commented, only if you're interested in Perfect Keto, I will come back and let you know so that you get notified. You'll get a notification that I replied to you and let you know when the sale started and what the new flavor is. That's only if you're interested in those. If you don't know for sure if you are, and you can say it if you just want to follow along and check it out or what have you, and that's fine too. Oh, Andrea said click the 3 dots at the top and it'll give you that option. Good stuff. But yes, I love the Perfect Keto bars, but I'm like you guys. I don't buy things at full price. I wait till they go on sale. I wait till they have special offers. Like the Keto Crate deal right now is ridiculous. It would cost you 10 times what they're charging you for that box to buy each of those products. I assume you guys have already seen that. Those are almost sold out. But it's for $23.99, and it would cost you like $237 and something cents to try to buy each of those products individually because, well, you'll see when you look at my value breakdown on my blog. My blog is at travelinglowcarb.com in case you didn't have that link for some reason. And let me know if you're interested in the Perfect Keto, and I'll come back and give you the link to that. Otherwise, post your keto questions. Let's keep this discussion going. I'm going to hop off. I have to run and get somewhere, and I enjoyed this so very much. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for all the great questions and discussion, and I can't wait to come back and continue that with you in the text chat in the comments. So have a great rest of the day or night, and hey, stay keto. It's worth it. It's so, so worth it.